What do you usually do after finishing a soda can? In today's video, I'm going to reveal a survival hack for camping trips. Turn completely worthless aluminum cans into a super heavy-duty mini alcohol stove capable of boiling water and cooking food in just minutes without the need for expensive gas canisters. To start the project, instead of randomly cutting with scissors and ending up with dented, jagged edges, we need to build a professional cutting guide tool. I'm using a small square wooden block I already had in the workshop. Using a metal ruler, I carefully measure and mark a diagonal line across the surface of the wood. Precision at this step is extremely important because it determines the height and cutting angle of the blade later on. Now, we place the wooden block firmly on a flat table and rotate the Coca-Cola can against the blade tip. Then, by lightly snipping along the scored line with scissors, the can separates incredibly smoothly. We repeat the same process with the second can at a different height to create the upper and lower halves of the alcohol stove body. Careful handling keeps the aluminum edges smooth, ensures a tight fit between the joints, and prevents dangerous sharp edges from being left behind. Next, I apply a layer of superglue along the marked line and place an old utility knife blade on top. Once the glue fully hardens, the blade will be firmly locked in place, creating a perfect can-cutting jig that no ordinary pair of scissors could ever match. The core component that transforms this can into a stove is the jet hole system. I use a permanent marker to mark evenly spaced points along the bottom rim of the can. Then, using a handheld drill with a small drill bit, I create holes all the way around it. When the alcohol inside is heated, it vaporizes, and the pressure forces the alcohol vapor through these tiny holes, where it mixes with oxygen from the outside to create jet-like flames with extremely high heat output and remarkably stable combustion. We tightly fit the two can halves together, forming a fully sealed fuel chamber. Now it's time to fuel the stove. Before pouring in the alcohol, I stuff a bit of steel wool inside the stove. This is a professional trick that very few people know about. The steel wool acts as a wick and fuel regulator, helping keep the alcohol supply stable, preventing the alcohol from bubbling over when boiling, and allowing the vapor to rise more evenly through the jet system. The fuel I'm using here is 90% ethanol, a very common medical-grade alcohol that's easy to find and burns with high heat output while remaining completely clean, leaving behind no black smoke or toxic odor on the food. Repairing, building, and bringing old items back to life with your own hands is not simply a hobby for spare time. It is a lifestyle filled with artistry and responsibility. It proves that with a little mechanical thinking and patience, we can take control of any situation and discover value in things that seem to have already reached the end of their life cycle. If you found this mini alcohol stove recycling project interesting and useful for your own creative space, don't forget to like, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the next scrap transformation journey in my workshop. Wishing you success with your projects, and may you always keep your passion burning strong. See you in the next videos.